Alright, so we are on the way to the gym for legs. I don't know why I always say we, but I think it's because I'm like referring to, you know, the camera as like another individual, but anyway. I am on the way to the gym for legs. So, whoa, that was close. But yeah, just finished making this and then eating the at least last like meal, other than the post-workout meal. So, but yeah, finally a little bit late, but that's all right. And like I mentioned, have been trying to get to the gym earlier. So been slowly making an improvement. So as far as what's in this, I should do like a full day eating situation. But anyway, as far as what's in this, I mean, really, I just put so I throw a couple ice cubes in there. I say a couple, but it's more like probably 5 to 6 if I actually had to guess. You know, no, it's just like a handful of like ice cubes that are decently big. I mean, I'd probably say like 2 inches long with like a 1 inch diameter. I don't know. And then, oh, that's cold. So throw like 5 ice cubes in there, something like that. What the fuck? Interesting. Oh, wow, okay. Damn. That's crazy. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted by that. I look up and there's this like excavator thing with part of this person's front yard dug out. I'm like, what the hell? So then I realized that, oh, they're putting a sidewalk in. And it was this like whole thing, and they did it on one part of the neighborhood, but I guess they, or whoever the hell is in charge, finally decided to do it on the other part. Why is no one moving? That made no sense. That was weird. Anyway, water, where's the match line? I'd probably say I'd fill this like halfway up with water. And then as far as actual, like, you know, what's important, are you shitting me? Sorry. There's no one here. Why did this change? It makes no sense. Anyway, so I fill this about halfway with water, and then, yo, is this thing like, this light might be retarded. Sorry. I meant to sugarcoat that, but it just came out. Anyway, so after I put like 5 to 6 ice cubes in here, filled halfway up with water, 70 grams of, oh wait. Either 70 or 60 grams of oats. I have to look at it again. I think it actually is 60. And I just put 70 in there out of habit. Whoops. Whoops. I'm still getting, I mean, I have the changes in rice down for the meals. Now I just need to remember changes in the shake. Because I mean, I remember the honey is down from 15 grams to 10. But anyway, so I think I'm actually supposed to be putting only 60 grams of oats in here. So, whoops. Anyway, so 60 grams of oats, 100 grams of frozen strawberries, 10 grams of honey, 16 grams of almond butter, and then 1 scoop of protein powder, 1 scoop of whey. I use the Farrell whey isolate, specifically the chocolate one. I forgot what the flavor is actually called, but I just know it's the chocolate thing. So and then yeah, that's it. So yeah, blend it up and you're good. Whoops. Alright. But yeah, as far as this leg day goes, I'm expecting it to go well, so I'm gonna start off with my accessories like I normally do. So it's gonna be abductors and adductors, and then calves. So for calves, it's gonna be doing some standing calf raise stuff, and then doing some leg press calf raises. So yeah. I've been drinking water, probably not as much as I need to, but just hopefully I'm not gonna cramp up start to cramp up when start doing squats. So anyway, but yeah, I definitely foresee a good leg day. Interesting. What the hell was that? I swear I just felt something hit my stomach. I was like, did I just drip this on me? What was that? That makes no sense. Anyway. So let's say this is a pretty common thing. I would say just the whole, I guess, premise surrounding, I don't know, that's probably not the right word to use. We'll just stick with that for now. But just motivation, right? And yeah, we'll stick with that. So here's the thing about motivation. That person is not smart. Anyway. Where's the stopwatch? Okay. Now don't get me wrong, motivation it's a great thing. It's an amazing thing. You can get motivation, I mean really from whatever, depends on what you get motivated by, but you know, I'd say motivation is completely subjective on, you know, what kind of things motivate you and whatnot. But yeah, motivation is definitely a good thing to have, especially when you're keep the thoughts to myself. Anyway, especially when you're going through like a hard day. Yeah, nice turn signal, bro. Stereotypes fit you well. What is this person doing? But especially on the hard days that, you know, you're going through something, or, you know, you're tired and, you know, want to work out. Now, I'm going to speak about motivation more so in gym, like, just, like, in context of, you know, the gym and whatnot. You know, simply because that's what I would personally say this channel is about. More so. Anyway. But yeah, especially when it's like, you know, after a hard day and, you know, maybe you're going through something or you're not in the best headspace and, you know, you're not really feeling that great, don't want to work out, you know, maybe you come across something or you find something that motivates you and it, you know, motivates you to go to the gym, you know, that's great. But the thing is, you can't fully rely on that. Like, you can't, essentially you can't like stay reliant on that motivation unless you, I mean, that, like, what am I thinking about? Yeah, unless you have like some sort of source of endless motivation, and that's kind of different. But come on, there we go. Boom. Perfect. Every time. Anyway. This is the pre. But anyway, back to what I was saying, at least. And try and make this short, but that's where other things like, you know, routine comes in, right? And motivation does have its benefits, but when you build a routine, that I would say, you know, what is a routine? To me, a routine is something that you can do like it's second nature to you, you know, and you don't need to be instructed on how to do it. You already know how to do it. So I would say when you're able to, like, once you have a routine and, you know, whatever it is just comes second nature to you because you've built that routine, I'd say that having that and being able to build that is definitely better, like way better than motivation. That's also where, now I would say having a routine and then discipline are two different things, really, but I'm probably gonna speak more on that post lift, since I kind of wasted some talking time. But anyway, that's my bad. But yeah, where I will leave off here is, while you are motivated and to do, you know, whatever you're doing, and at least in the context of gym terms, while you are motivated to work out and lift, I would say take that time as well to be able to find a routine and stay true to that, and or like at least work on staying true to that, because once the motivation runs out, it's gonna suck a lot less than if you don't have anything built there. And then really it's just kind of gonna be like, you have your motivation, you know, you're rising, you lose it for whatever reason, and then if you don't have any sort of, if you don't have discipline or routine or anything, you're just gonna crash. So it's like, you know, you did all that rising for what exactly? Really, that was just, you just kind of wasted time there with whatever. At least in gym terms, like if you know, it's like the New Year's resolution people, you know, they come for a couple months and then after a while, what happens? You don't see them anymore, right? So, you know, but the people who do stay from their New Year's resolution either built or had the discipline to keep going, or they built or made some sort of routine, and that kept them on track, and then maybe later down the line they developed discipline so to keep going. But I would say one thing I will say before I go is, I would say a routine without discipline is eventually doomed to fail in some sort of area. Now it depends on what that routine is like based around, like what that routine is. But I would say if you don't have the discipline to, like, especially once it gets boring, and there are times where it gets boring and it kind of sucks, but when you have the discipline to keep going behind the routine that you've created, it doesn't really suck. And you know, if you come across some motivation, whether that's through social media or something else, you know, something you hear, something you watch, something you read, you know, that'll put you in a little boost of, you know, productivity, whether that's being productive by going to the gym or being productive by, you know, pursuing whatever you want to pursue. So anyway, but yeah, I'd say while you were motivated and while you are in your, you know, rising action of motivation, or even in your climax of motivation, you definitely need to either find a routine or build one on your own, and whatever subject or aspect that may be or has to do with. So yeah, other than that though, let's go ahead and go hit some legs, let's go ahead, get inside, hit some legs, but I'm going to start off with my accessories, and then after that I'll warm up and set the tripod up and everything. So yeah, let's go inside and get started.
Slow and controlled. There you go now, Mike.
All right. Whew. Overall, great lift. Really pushed myself on this one. Did weight I haven't touched in a while on a couple things. So that was very, very interesting. That was done. It's not. But anyway, yeah. Overall, great lift. Yeah. There we go. Whew. Yeah, quads absolutely got destroyed, and then got my hamstrings worked up too. So yeah. Anyway, let's pack up and hop in the car.